Welcome to part 3 of Writing Better Code with Reactor 3. In this screencast, we'll explore testing of reactive data streams with the step verifier. We continue with the project used previously in this series. In our pom.xml, we included the reactor test dependency. This will provide the classes and methods necessary for testing Reactor 3 with step verifier. Let's start by creating an empty mono. This mono completes before emitting any data element. We then create a step verifier from this empty mono, and we expect this to complete without any data element and end the test with the verify method. If instead of an empty stream, we expect the publisher to produce data element before completing, we can add this expectation with expect next. This would fail the test since the empty publisher does not provide any data element. It's very important to call verify or one of its variants. If we remove it, the test now passes despite nothing else changing. It seems to run, but the expectations are not executed. Let's now change the publisher to a mono that passes the test. Expect complete and verify are often called sequentially, and we could replace them with just verify complete method. Now we'll change the publisher to a flux, and we can expand the expectation of next to a data sequence. We can also split this expectation into individual methods. Note that the order of the sequence is important. If we reverse the order of the expectation, the test will fail. We can also use the expect next sequence method to match the data items to an iterable. Besides expecting exact values, we can also verify the next item with matches using expect next matches. In addition, we can use the assert next method, giving it an assert consumer. We can also use the consume next with, though this need not be an assertion. If we are interested only in how many data elements are emitted, we could use expect next count. The then consume while method consumes data items as long as a condition is met. Sometimes we don't need to test the rest of the data stream. We can use then cancel method to cancel the data streaming. In addition, using the log method, we could observe the events in the flux, and this can be useful while debugging. An alternative way to create the step verifier is using the S method of the publisher. This fluent style is sometimes more readable and preferred. How about error events? We can add an expectation of error using the expect error method. We can also specify the type of error we expect, the expected error message, or using expect error matches to do both and to match against other things. Sometimes we might want to test publishers that have a long running time. For this demonstration, we'll use a mono.delay with a delay of 1 minute. Instead of waiting a minute for this to complete, we could use the with virtual test method to shorten the testing time. Note that the tested publisher must be created within the with virtual time method. So instead of passing in a publisher directly, you need to provide a publisher supplier. Also, creating the publisher outside and then simply returning it from the supplier does not work. You have to move the creation of the publisher under test inside the with virtual time method. In addition, we need to call the then await method to fast forward the test. While you could call the then await method without a duration, its behavior seems to be more consistent with a specified duration. This enables us to skip ahead in time and examine all the events happening during that period. Instead of the then await method, we can also use the expect no event method. Besides fast forwarding, the expect no event method also adds an expectation that no event occurs during the wait. Be aware that subscription is an event, so expect no event on a new subscription will fail the test unless we consume it with an expect subscription first. For the same reason, expect no event is deprecated as the first verifier step. Expect no events interaction with the then await method can be confusing. If you call then await before expect no event, the expect no event duration starts after the then await duration. Also, if the then await period is too short, not all events would have been generated. As a general rule, then event should come after expect no event, and the total expect no event plus the then await time must be sufficient to cover all events. The verify method returns the duration of the test execution. You can also use verify then assert that with took more than and took less than assertions for the duration of the test. Note that this is the duration of the test, not the data stream, which is different, especially when we use with virtual time. Verify then assert also allows us to bring up other step verifier assertions, mostly for dropped, discarded data elements or errors. We'll revisit them in a later screencast. That concludes part 3 of writing better code with Reactor 3. If you find this useful, like and share so that other people can find it, and subscribe to get notified of the next video. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!